Hello? Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. It's good to know my stream notifications still don't work. Why don't my stream notifications work anymore? What a sad day. What a sad day. So I still need to work on my bot. I don't know. I thought I fixed my bot, but maybe I didn't. Which is obvious. I guess I was the structure of the sentence kind of implied that already. But on the flip side, well, actually, I guess I might as well. I don't know, just ping, ping, stream notifications. Oh, hello, hello, hello. Justo Sophie, Justoffy. Working on vpuppr to Godot 4. There we go. Sorry for the hard name. There's no problem. No problem at all. What I can guarantee you is I will butcher it no matter what. Yeah, there's the stream notification. But what I have fixed in the intervening period is I finally figured out why I wasn't able to capture my guitar all this time. It's because I just did not turn it on. Well, it's not, it wasn't turned on, but it was like, I guess the port just wasn't configured right, I guess. I don't really know how to describe it. But it's like there's one port that's always open, or I guess one input port that's always open, which is the audio port. And then there's the instrument port, which you can turn on and off. And I forgot that I turned it off, which is why I was never able to capture my guitar. But now I can, like this. Oh, I already played this. I don't know. What other songs do I know? We are working on vpuppr today. Hold on, I gotta readjust. No, I gotta put it away. Can't play guitar and program at the same time. Alright, also just gotta get everything set up. I was so excited when I figured out, isn't this light supposed to be on? Oh wait, that's why. I thought my my audio mixer was just broken. I say audio mixer, it's really just like a, I guess it is, I don't know, what is it called? What are these called? I don't know, Focusrite thingy. All right, just gotta plug in my headphones, my actual headphones, not my monitors. I don't know, let's go here, switch the scene. Oh no, I wasted too much time and now I'm just all out of sorts. I usually use this first 5 minutes to actually set up. All right, but here's GD script. There's nothing in this one. Here's some C++. No, this isn't C++, wait. Where's my C++? Here's my C++. Not expecting to have to do any C++ though, because it just kind of works. I was gonna be looking at how the GD extension stuff worked with var args, but it's kind of painful, just a little painful to get working. Because if you want to do GD extension, you actually need to completely shut down. Well, not shut down, but close Godot, stop the process, because, I don't know, for whatever reason, Godot just, GD extensions are more integrated into Godot, so you actually get stuff like this. I thought that was pretty cool. So they are just like regular nodes, and then because it's just a regular node, you can do things like this, where you can just add Oh, actually, you can't. Really? No? Really? Oh, maybe you can. I thought that was... Wait, isn't that what that was the entire point of GD extension, is that because... Oh, because it's not a node, it's a ref counted. That's right. If you were to make a node, you would be able to instantiate it and then add your own script on top of it. Whereas with GD native was just scripts. So you couldn't combine them, which I guess makes sense. But anyways, I do want to figure out this var args, because I don't really know what this means. Like, it's a pointer, sure. Which means it's a pointer to... No, wait. No, yes. Wait, no, it's not. I don't know. Let's try it. Because right now, with my funny logger implementation, and the only reason why the logger implementation is in GD extension is so that I can have access to a static variable. It's a little overkill, but it's actually kind of nice as well, right? So I get access to a static variable, because Godot doesn't have statics. You can kind of cheat the system, per se, and add your own statics. Well, fake a static by having a constant dictionary, right? So if you have like a constant whatever, make it a dictionary, then that's treated like a static thing, and then you can put an array inside of it, and then that's your static, which is very strange. Right, because constants are always available to all things. Dictionaries are not constants. Well, the keys in a dictionary are not constants. The actual dictionary object itself is a constant. So it's kind of a hack, and it still works the last time I tried it, which was when Godot was still in beta. This is whatever the most recent release is. I don't know. Whatever the most recent release was at 4.44. Let's do this real quick. So I know that there are var args now, so which means go to here, and we can change all of these to just take var args instead of strings. So and I'm just going off of the example. I only look at the example when I'm not sure what I'm doing. I feel like all of this lower level stuff doesn't really have too much documentation, which is about as expected, right? Let's keep notify like this, because I'm not sure what I would do with that. But info, so they're doing const, some sort of variance, and then pointer args, GD extension int. GD extension int. Okay, arg count. So that makes sense, because I guess yeah, C++ doesn't actually have var args, so this is how you would do var args. GD extension call error, and then it's a reference. So I just wish that this stuff was actually documented, because even the examples that they give you don't actually go into how to parse var args, right? It just has, like, you know, variance return called with number of arg count, and it's like, sure, you know, like this, that doesn't do anything for me though. How do I check how many args there are, or how do I pull the args, right? How are they passed to me? I suppose what I'm going to be doing is just I'm going to compile it, and then we'll figure it out. We'll probably crash a few times, but that's okay. What's a little crashing between friends? So, one. Oh wait, what am I doing? These are all pretty much the same function signature. But just done over and over again, so it makes, you know, using a logger more ergonomic, as opposed to, you know, logger, log, and then I have to pass in the enum that corresponds to it. Like, that's too much. I think this makes more sense. All right, so this is going to be kind of incorrect. Yeah, there we go. Just undo me. Well, don't undo me, but comment me out. I'm also not really sure why I spaced them out like this. It's pretty weird. Because doing it like I just did it there means it's a huge pain to put them back. Alright. So the joys of C++, my favorite language. Which is sarcasm, by the way. I hate C++. Mostly because it gives me too much freedom. I don't know. I'm not comfortable having this much control. I like having the control, but I wish there were more safety checks. Because for someone like me, I kind of just go for it. That's why I like Rust, because at least Rust you have the compiler, and the compiler is very smart in Rust. It's like, oh, you did this wrong. Sometimes the compiler fights you, and I say sometimes, or when I say sometimes, I mean like a lot of the time. Until you like completely retrain your brain to play nice with the Rust compiler. Yeah, like the thing I still struggle a lot with Rust is lifetimes, or like not lifetimes, but explicit lifetimes. Like I only recently found out that lifetimes means that you take ownership of the lifetime. I thought it was the other way around, where whatever you're passing in, like the external lifetime needs to live longer than the explicit lifetime. But no, it's actually the opposite way around. Is whatever the explicit lifetime is, it needs to live as long as or longer than the external lifetime. This is delicious. Bevy. Bevy's pretty neat. Bevy's pretty neat. I think the unfortunate part is that ECS isn't really a good fit for what I'm doing, right? So for like this. Like there's not really a good reason to structure it like that. I think for games it makes more sense because you're processing a bunch of like things, right? So you have a lot of enemies, so you would want to iterate over those components. Whereas this one, I just have the one thing, and then I have the one tracker, and then that's about it. I need something that's a bit more straightforward because the complexity of an ECS doesn't make any sense in this case. Doing a simulate very ECS, yeah, exactly. Like ECS makes sense if you have like the scale. if your game has lots of things, lots of like things, it makes sense. But if it's just one thing that leads to another thing that leads to another thing, would an ECS be more performant? It might be. I don't know. I haven't tried it yet. But it does feel a lot less ergonomic to use an ECS. But anyways, so how do you do this? So you have pointer. It's a variance, and then I can. What do you got? Actually, how do you access pointers again? Can I get some code completion, please? I desire code completion. Yeah, wait. How do you... If you have a pointer to something... Wait. Hold on. C++. Access. Have an awesome stream. I will try to. Access pointer. Depointerize pointer. Yeah. Just dereference the pointer. Yeah. So this is my pointer, args, and then I pointer it. Then what? Excuse me? Hold on. Because this is how I thought you did it. Maybe this is not how you're supposed to do it. Right, because you can use the arrow notation to dereference the pointer. I know that, because I've done that several times. Maybe I should be looking at C++ reference. Dereference operator, yeah. But then if you have a pointer, double pointer, sure. Pointers and arrays, yeah. Pointer arithmetic, my least favorite thing. Not very good at it. Now this is pretty wild. Yeah. Pointers, 2 pointers, yeah. But then how do you access it? Sure. Pointers to functions. No, I'm familiar with that. Pointer to pointer. Multiple indirection, yeah. It's my pointer. It's not really that useful. How do you access it via arrow notation? I've seen this before. So you need to perform indirection twice to get the thing pointed to the pointer that is pointed to by the pointer. Double indirection? Okay, I can do that. Okay, there we go. That makes sense. I'm not not a huge fan of it. What do you got for docs here? So this is the header. Okay. Is that it? Iter init, iter get. I don't think that I can iter over. I don't know. Maybe I can. There's call static. Evaluate, duplicate, get type name. I don't need the type name, I just need the type that's contained. Oh, there we go. Variant type, get type. Yeah, I guess I'll try it. I don't know. Get type name. That's probably the exactly what I want. So get type do, and then variant get type name, which gives me a string. And then utility functions, print me. It's beautiful. All right. So we're not really using anything here, but that's a-okay. I don't think I need to redo any of the method binds either. So I'll close this. And then compile me, I guess. All right. Build me, please. All right, well. Oh, good. Okay, wait. So we only need to change this one for now, which is probably a good call. Just do one thing at a time. Why are we trying to break the program immediately, right? All right, what is your problem? All right. So we should only have the one error. I just want to know how do I access the var args? Oh, it's because the method bind. The method bind is different. Okay. And I've closed exactly what I need. Yeah. Okay. Give me the implementation, please. And then I need the bind method stuff. All right. So these are all fine except for info. Info needs to be So they put them into blocks. I'm pretty sure I know why they put it into a block is so that the method info thing just stays on the stack. That makes sense. Arguments, push back, property info, variance. It's it doesn't matter. Variance. Is there just a variance? It doesn't. It can be anything really. Is there there's variant? That would be pretty sick. No, I did not think so. It what? How do I just have a variance, like just a regular variance? Right, it could be anything. That's what I want. So math types. Variant max is probably not. I don't know. Let's see what nil gives me. That doesn't seem right. So method info name is equal to info. And then class dib bind var arg method. Excuse me, method flag default. What does this mean? Oh. Wait. Shouldn't it be var arg? What's the difference? I don't know. I guess we'll figure it out. So logger info, and then just pass in this method info there. That should probably be okay. What's your problem? Oh, my computer's just being slow. All right. Let me see. He's done it. All right, so let's open this back up. Hopefully it doesn't crash. Sometimes when the thing is incompatible, it will just explode. Okay, well, good thing. Godot did not explode, that's good. And then I can just have a, yeah, I can just have this, that's fine. I can just run this by itself. So ready me, pass, allocate a new logger, logger new, or actually we can logger and place test, just because it's nice. And then logger info message variance. Okay, hello world, something like that. Then we can do, what do you got? Oh, that's cool, I think. Wait, no? Wait, hold on, what? So it gave me string. What does that mean? Does it mean it called it twice? Does it mean it called it twice? What does that mean? Because it should only print once and say that it's a string. Because I only called it once, right? So if I add like just a regular print, like ASDF. Oh geez, not like this. This one. That's interesting. That's interesting. And by interesting, I mean I'm very confused. Give me one sec. I don't know. Hit me with another utility functions print. I don't know, just print the arg count. I'm pretty sure this is fine. I might have to cast it. No, I definitely have to. No, it looks fine, I guess. Did I kill Godot? I did kill Godot. Wonder if it is based off of arg count. Or maybe it's because I registered this as a method flag var arg, as opposed to whatever the demo is using. Let me see. vpuppr 4. Alright. Standard GUI, that's fine. Run me. I just want to look. So 1, 2. What does that mean? What does that mean? Because that implies that this function is being called twice. You can count how many args you currently have. Does that mean I need to have just something on the stack, like a static? No, that doesn't make sense. It needs to be on the instance. So if you are printing, that doesn't make any sense to me. If you pass in var args, it calls the function multiple times. Maybe that's just how var args are implemented in other languages, like in Python or whatever. It could be. Maybe method flags default. Let me see if that makes a difference. I would be surprised, maybe. Yeah, method flag, and there's no stuff. Yeah, these are just global constants. Method flags? Is method flags a thing in just regular Godot? Because I recognize some of these flags from the other stuff as well. Alright, so just run me real quick. Alright, so it's the same thing. Okay, so method flags. Nope, not a thing here. That's good to know. What the heck? Why is it calling it multiple times then? Then that means I need to store it on the class. But wait, no, wait. Wait, no. Because this doesn't give you the max amount of arguments. This doesn't give you every single argument. This just counts up. So then how do you know when the thing is done? Maybe I'm missing something? Like this is the arg counts, and it's not the total counts of arguments, it's just like a counter that counts up. That's not useful at all. What other things do I have on here then? Because these are all strings, so they are passed to me as strings. Actually, you know what? We'll do one more thing. Utility functions, print me. I don't know, can I just print this error, or do I need to cast it? I don't even know what this is. Some sort of type def. What is this? This is a, oh, it's a struct. All right, what is this? That's an enum. Probably, well, yeah, no, I probably can print that out. Yeah, so this is gonna give me an error. So argument. I don't know, argument. And I'm pretty sure this is also, well, this is a template, so that's fine. Error. Give me the error, and then error expected, sure, I don't know. All right, compile me one more time. I need to check this. So does it give me an error once it's done? Like otherwise, how would you know once you're done with var args? That's what's blowing my mind right now. Is how do I know once I'm done? Otherwise, I don't think I can use var args. It doesn't make any sense. Or maybe if I do use var args, it would just have to be separate prints altogether. But that's not what you would expect. Okay, so just a bunch of zeros, just a bunch of zeros. All right, thanks for nothing. Wait, is it supposed to be a bunch of zeros? Oh yeah, it is supposed to be a bunch of zeros. But wait, why? So this makes sense, because this is just an enum, and enums are just numbers. But why are GD extension call error? Arguments? So this is the... Wait, we can still do this. Once more with feeling. So I just pass in, oh, sorry. I just pass in 1. Wait, no, what? That shouldn't have happened. No, I'm just stupid. So it's calling it twice? How? Where? So I'm printing the arg counts, the type name, and then the errors. And there are no errors, so I can actually get rid of that. But it still printed it twice, even though I'm only calling it once. And I only have this implementation. There's this implementation that's commented out, but that doesn't make a difference. Is there something here? Yeah, because info I've commented out, so it shouldn't be registering it twice. I don't even know if that's possible. It might be possible to register it twice. Method info. So name, return value, flags, arguments, default arguments. Actually, does C++ have var args? What is this? I'm not familiar with that syntax. I thought you had to implement those yourself. Yeah. But why is it printing it twice? Because it should only print it once, right? But it's printing it twice. I don't wanna bust out the debugger. God, I hate debugging C++. I also dislike debugging Rust as well, but I can deal with that. It does require at least 1 argument. So I guess the question here is if I just pass in other garbage. All right, there's a call somewhere. So this second invocation makes sense, right? So it's not counting up, it's the total amount of arguments. That makes sense. And then I'm assuming I need to like iterate over this variant here, because this variant, yeah, I might have to do some pointer arithmetic, I guess. I don't see any examples of how to do that though. Okay. So real quick, hold on. Do this, comments out that. Give me the old implementation. Just real quick. So kill this, close this, rebuild me. Using all my cores and probably causing me to drop some frames. All right. Overloaded. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Wait, no. 79. What's your problem? Oh, I didn't save. Oh, okay. I love header files. They're so great. The thing I always forget to save, and then I get very confused once compiling fails. I'm like, I changed it. I remember typing it. Oh wait, I forgot to press Control S. All right, redo me. Yeah, see, that works as expected. Because it's just one invocation. And then when we go back to this, comment this out, bring me back. Comment this out. Maybe I'm just crazy. That would be fantastic if I was just crazy. Like that. Yeah, and I feel like the method flags don't really do anything. Yeah, like, doesn't this just work as well? So I can, wait, bind var arg method, this probably requires, well, I don't know, I'm just guessing. I have to guess because there's no documentation. All right, compile me. Beautiful, okay. Open me back up. vpuppr. Do that. Yeah, that's wild. Is that it's giving me why is the first one always string? That's my question. It might just be a bug. Why did I do this? Put this back. Give me the window again, please. Please. Var arg. Am I missing something? So no one's reported this as a bug, although I'm assuming that no one's reported it as a bug because no one has realized that they've added the ability to register var args. So there's a template. Bind var arg method. So the flags, no documentation as always. String name, sure. Some method which is based off the class. The method info if you want. Default args, no. Return nil is what? Return nil as variant or return nil is variant? Create var arg method bind. I think there's a bug. I think that's my professional opinion. What the heck is this? Doesn't explain anything. All right. And then I guess another question is if you have a pointer to pointer, how do you how do I do pointer arithmetic on a pointer? What is this? Change the value of a pointer passed to a function as the function argument. Your pointer to a pointer. Sure. Okay, but then, okay, pointer, okay. I've asked the wrong question. How do I do C++, pointer, arithmetic. Arithmetic. Or yeah, I mean, just give me the regular pointer arithmetic, I guess. I just need to real quick. Although isn't like regular pointer arithmetic is just adding it? Yeah, because a pointer is just a memory address, or a memory address is not necessarily an integer, but it probably is. Pointer to pointer arithmetic, yes. So what are they? So can't I do for const I arg counts? That's probably isn't that how you do for each in C++? Or is that not true? Suitable begin function. All right, let's not do that. We can just use a classic int I is equal to 0. I is less than arg counts I plus plus. Okay, and then we'll just do pointer arithmetic based off of that, because then we'll need to do utility functions, print. So what was this answer using? What was their example? Line 1, pointer P will be pointing to an element in the array A, B, C. Plus plus moves 1 forward. So is that to get print what you expected? You need this pointer plus plus or pointer to plus plus P. I don't like I don't like this syntax. That's kind of gross. I like this one because it's pretty standard. Or it's what I would expect anyways. So pointer args plus plus question mark maybe. I feel like that makes sense, but maybe not. All right, I don't know. Compile me. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm at the stage in my life where I understand enough, but do I want to understand? Debatable. Like pointers I get. Pointers, that's when I start to get kind of nervous. See, what the heck? Oh, and then I need to dereference the pointer? Because it's a variant. Wait. Yeah, so I'm assuming this is just giving me a memory address. And so like Godot is interpreting that memory address as like, oh, okay, it's not 0, therefore it must be true. So that's probably okay, right? I don't know. So we're double dereferencing, and then we're kind of relying on the built-in stuff to figure out like, oh, it's a variance. We'll just try to print it. I think that makes sense to me. Unless there is no built-in which case I'm screwed. right, so run me. He's done it. Wait, what the heck? So it worked, by the way. I don't really understand. I don't really understand this, though. What the heck is this? So one, I didn't get like the garbage nothing print that I was getting before, right? Because this is 1 hello 3. That's exactly what I passed in. There's no extra argument thing, which is strange. I don't really understand what I did differently. But then also, no, that makes sense to me. Never mind. Disregard. Constant var arg. Beautiful. All right. I don't know. That makes sense to me. All right. All right. So then here I just need to. Do these have like a 2-string? Stringify. Okay. So is it called Godot string or is it a string? All right, string S. Yeah, that's a string. And then can you do S plus equals pointer? Wait, hold on. Pointer to pointer args plus plus stringify. Like that? Is that okay? I'm not sure if that's okay, but I'm gonna hope it's okay. And then everything else just calls log s info. I think that feels pretty good to me. I don't know. Yeah, that might not be fine. We'll see if it crashes. If not, I can just initialize it with I can initialize it. That's fine as well. All right, well there we go. I suppose I should be adding a space between each one, but that's pretty much what I expect, yeah. So how do I add a space? So actually, wait, hold on. How does the built-in print work as well? I admittedly haven't really checked. I don't usually pass in multiple arguments to the built-in print function. I usually create the string first and then pass it to print, which is why I'm a little confused. All right, but we can get rid of this. This is a test thing. Because I remember in Godot 3, you used to be able to just have a completely separate scene tree if you wanted. Like it would 100% mess up the debugger, but that's fine. Let me see. So how does this work? So you print 1, 2, 3. Does that add spaces or no? It does not add spaces. Okay, well there we go. It's beautiful. That means that this is fine. Because this is pretty much what you would expect. And I suppose that would also mean I need to have a helper function. Or maybe info, or maybe not info, but log. Log can, instead of taking a reference to a message, could just pass the pointer. Yeah, you know what? Let's pass the pointer. That makes sense to me. So log should never be called by anything. That's fine. So it's a constant variant, and it's a pointer to args. We'll change this. This is now a variant. This is a pointer to args. Which means that I now need to do this. So we construct, oh wait. No, that's fine, yeah. I don't really need the error, but I guess that's just what Godot is expecting as the kind of interface. Wait, it's a GD extension int arg count. And then the error, I don't really need the error, so that's fine. So did this, change this signature, then here, oh sorry, there should be p args to match with all the other examples, or at least the Godot kind of standard is that they like to label parameters with p. Makes sense. It doesn't really make a difference, right? Because I'm pretty sure the compiler doesn't care what you call your parameters between your header and your actual implementation. I think it's nice to be consistent, because I do reference the actual like the actual source code of Godot fairly often. Pass you the message there, and then that should be fine. So there's your message. There's your message, blah blah. Give that a save. Everything else is about to explode, which is fine. Call this p-args, p-arg count, and then p-error. But I don't think that there's going to be an error. And then this is just passing along everything, right? So p-args, p-arg counts should be fine. These need to go away because I'm changing how these work. Do yeah, I do realize that this doesn't make a difference because I've already written out the correct types. But it makes me feel better about myself, which is the important part. All right, so void. Get rid of these. Void longer warn. Do all this stuff. This needs to be warn. Locker debug. Void locker trace. I think actually trace is a bit different, but I'll think about it. Tracing is actually something that I don't usually use because there's not really a lot of reason to use a trace instead of a debugger, I think. Says the person who enjoys just using print statements to debug. So maybe I'm not really super qualified to make that kind of assumption. All right, this requires a pointer. So all right, get rid of notify. We don't need notify. We'll just leave it unimplemented for now. Or actually, no, we won't. We might as well do this. Something like that. Don't actually use the, don't actually put the implementation here. Although I think you can, right? Like aren't you able to Yeah, yeah. You could just write all your code in the headers if you wanted. The biggest problem with that, as far as I understand it, is that the only problem is that it means that you don't get to take advantage of incremental compilation. Yeah, it means that you don't get to take advantage of incremental compilation, which is kind of tough. All right, let's see, const int. Yeah, because with header only stuff, it means that you need to recompile the entire header every single time you compile. Whereas if you have a separate header and separate implementation, I guess the compiler is just smart enough to know that, like, oh, okay, nothing's changed here, so who cares? We'll just ignore it. Whereas with header only, I guess the compiler always compiles the header. Is that correct? Is probably correct. Who knows? Do add notification stuff here. All right, so kill this stuff. I need to update. Ah, geez. I need to update this. That's gonna be fun. At least I can just copy and paste this though, more or less. So message, this is notify. Notify, there's your method info. And then property info. So mi arguments. This actually has one more argument, which is the notification type. So variant integer. Just type, I guess. That makes sense to me. This is warn. I'll just go ahead and just type this all with my left hand. For whatever reason, my strongest hand. I say that like I don't know the reason why. I know why my left hand is my strongest hand. It's because I do like playing instruments. Stringed instruments to be precise, or more exact. Maybe not precise. So my left fingers, very strong. Right fingers, not as strong, but still okay. Actual like grip strength is leaves a little bit to be desired, unfortunately. Because you don't usually need to like, you know, muscle man grip an instrument. Which tends to surprise people. They're like, oh, like you should, because you're like, you play like guitar or violin, you must have like really strong hands. My hands are like about average, maybe. I don't know. I haven't really tested in a while. I do know that my fingers are a bit stronger than average, at least on my left hand. Right hand, it could be. All right, compile me. So now these are all just var args. Alright, well, what's your problem? There's one thing. 144. Okay, so it's you. I want to say that these should all be var args as well. But what was the error? Hold on. It was... create var arg method by no matching overload function found for... What do you mean? What do you mean? I love templates. I don't know how to read this. All right, create var arg method bind. All right, that's probably the only like parsable thing that's making sense to me. Like this part here makes sense, and then this part here makes sense. This stuff in the middle, I guess this one is the same as well. All right, create var arg method bind. All right, so we go here. This is the bind. Yeah. Oh, did I not pass in the method info? Is that why it? No, I did. If you have a var arg method, are you not allowed to have just regular args in it? That might be it. You know what? That's almost certainly it, and I hate that. You can't have a combination var arg thing. Like I know in like Python and JavaScript you can, but that, you know, I get those aren't exactly C++. But I do know in Python if you have var args, your var args need to go at the back of your function, which is what I did here, right? So notify, you have a const p type there, and then we have the var args at the very back. But like I'm pretty sure if I take this out, like I don't register this, right? Just yeet that, as they say. Compile it again. I'm pretty sure that's going to compile. Well, I'm not pretty sure. I'm like 99% sure. Yeah. Okay, so var args cannot have regular args at the very beginning of them. That kind of sucks. Kind of sucks. That makes sense though. Could not deduce template. Yeah, because it's looking for an int, a variant pointer. And then if I look at class DB, what are you using with p method? Create var arg method bind. Create. Why would you do this? I don't know. Who made this? All right, yeah. So var arg method bind, you always need. I guess what I could do is make it a var arg, but then require that the number of args is at least 2. That makes sense to me. It is kind of a shame that it doesn't work like how var args within Python, but you know, we're not using Python. That's fine. It's fine by me. If you want things to work like Python, then you should use Python, I suppose. All right. Well, so what we can do is if p arg count is less than 2, then p error. I don't know. Is equal to GD extension. Is it call error? Well, yeah, that's the type def, but what is this supposed to be? This is a GD extension call error type. GD extension call error type 2 pu arguments. Yeah. Something like that, right? P error. What do you got? Argument. I don't know. I don't know. We expected 2. P error. I don't know. Argument. I guess we don't need to define an argument. Yeah, because isn't GD extension call error? Well, no. I should define it, right? It's better to be explicit than implicit. Let's make it 0. Anything else might not work. Well, I mean, they are just 32-bit integers. I was going to put it to -1, and I was thinking, what if it's like a uint, an unsigned integer? Then that would just overflow. That's fine. Actually, no. Can you set... What happens if you set an unsigned integer to -1? Does it overflow, or I guess underflow? Or does it explode? I think this makes sense. So this is notify, blah, blah. Here is our thing here. And then we can have this. Yeah, probably. Makes sense to me. All right, we go here, open up vpuppr, take a look at it. So this should still work, right? So this will be 1 hello 3, no spaces, because that's actually how the built-in print works as well. So if I do 1 hello hello 3, yeah, so that's how the built-in print works, which makes sense. So it's equivalent, except my logger keeps track of all the logs in a static logger thingy, which is the entire point of using GD extension. I suppose you could do it in GD script, but you would have to use like an auto load somewhere, some sort of singleton pattern. So notify. So, oh, you know what? Ah, look at that. Look at that. Okay, so that's how you would define. So you would have to define it in this specific way, but then you get actual type hints via this. That makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Neat. So expected at least 2. Oh, yeah, that's sick. That makes sense. That makes so much sense, actually. Logger. Where are my notify things? Notify type? Is it just toast? Oh, okay, toast. And then 1, 2, 3, something like that. I mean, it won't do anything. Yeah. Wait, hold on. Wait, that's not right. Because I'm starting at the first index, yes. So I need, for notify, I actually need to do this. Well, I need to increment the pointer. I know that. I need to increment the pointer. Like that. Maybe. Possibly. Isn't that how that works? I don't need to dereference it, right? Or maybe I do need to dereference it. Maybe this will just explode. Yeah, because it just needs to be off by 1, because I need to skip the first one. Oh, and that means that this one also needs to be -1. Like that. All right, hit me one more time. Because we want to discard the first one, because the first one is the type of notification. Right, so the arc count actually needs to go down by 1, because we want to just ignore that. Well, for now, we'll figure out what we want to do with the actual notification type. So I have not re-implemented that yet in the Godot 4 port. Hold on. So just check to see if it explodes. All right, well, that's not right at all anyways. Yeah. Is that not how it works? Because you can't just pass, you can't just dereference the pointer, right? Maybe you can. Like this is where I start getting confused. So because it's a pointer, it's behind 2 layers of indirection, which means that you need to dereference twice, yeah, to get the actual variance. Otherwise, you just have an integer. Oh, hello, Nero, how are you? I'm doing some Godot 4 stuff. There's no documentation, by the way, on how this stuff works, and then the example also does not give a good example of how it works. So I'm trying to talk my way through how to do some pointer arithmetic. Because once I get once there's more than just one layer of indirection, like pointer to thing, I get it. Pointer to thing is where I start getting very nervous. There's always you. Oh yeah, you know. Also tired. Work is fun. You know, I found out at work that I'm like 90% being extended on my current project to the end of 2023. Probably. I'm number 2 on the list. So the architect is number 1. And then I'm number 2, which feels good. Because that puts me ahead of some of the more older people. By the simple fact that I did not go on paternity leave. I simultaneously did not go on paternity leave, and I also am not fresh out of school, even though I think that person's credentials are better than mine because they have a master's in computer science, I think, whereas I did not study computer science at all. All right, but this is a pointer, which means I probably cannot do that. Or maybe I can. Maybe I can just do this. No, I don't want to dereference the pointer here. This is the notify type. So this would be variance. I don't want to use auto. I don't like using auto if I don't have to. Notify type is equal to dereference p args plus like that. Right? That's right. Yeah. And then because that operates in place, then that should be fine, question mark, maybe. Give me a build. Yeah. It's one of those things that I'm constantly very surprised by, though. It's like I'm talking to people. I'm like, hey, how are you? Blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, my kids are doing great. I'm like, oh, I can't relate. No, I don't have any kids. I'm glad I don't have any kids, especially in this economy. Affording kids? Are you kidding me? Kids are expensive, man. Kids are expensive, and they take up a lot of your time. I think if I had kids, I wouldn't be able to stream at all. All right, well that's that's more correct. That's more correct. I don't know. It says 1, 2, 3, and then there's a wrapped 0, which was. Oh, you know what? It got corrupted. Let's go. What the heck? It's corrupted, I think. So I've actually dereferenced something I shouldn't be dereferencing, but so I feel like it should have seg faulted, but it didn't. So that's cool. That's cool. This economy sucks. Could stream less on probably be interrupted often. Yeah, I could. But I think it's not just like the time investment. I mean, the time investment is like a pretty substantial, I think. But also it's like the level of stress that you're put under as well, right? Because now you're responsible for another living being. I mean, if you want to be a good parent, I guess if being a good parent isn't really like your prerogative, then you know, whatever then. Suppose it doesn't really matter. Oh, actually, shouldn't this should be minus because yeah. Because the order of operations, where you put the minus matters, right? Because if you put the minus beforehand, it does the operation and then returns the value. But if you put it afterwards, It uses the value and then, yeah, okay. Something like that. I'm explaining it very poorly because my understanding of it is also very poor. I don't like using the minus syntax, but it is very common. Yeah. I think the level of stress I would be under if I had kids would also be like much higher. Whereas right now, like my level of stress is nice, very manageable. He's done it. There we go. Okay, cool. So that's good. I don't know if this is really necessary because Godot actually will not allow me to put less than 2. Right. So this will give an error. Yeah, too few arguments. Expected at least 2, but received 1. So now we pass in 2. So I guess this sanity check doesn't really make a lot of sense then. This sanity check, yeah. I mean, it's nice though. I guess it's good to have the sanity check. Can't hurt. I'll do all of this stuff. Okay. I think that's fine. All right. It only took me an hour to figure that out. That's cool. So now whenever I log, I don't need to pass in an explicit string. As long as it can be stringified, it should be fine. All right. So, I mean, this is where we're at right now, though. So Alicia VRM is going to crash. And then this one will just give me some garbage like that, which is fine as well. Because I still need to do this. Yeah, so the camera is way too close right now. FOV, kind of scuffed as well. Model gimbal. No, if Windows hates me or not. More bugs than my Linux. I don't know. Is it Windows 10 or Windows 11? And then any other Windows version is not applicable. 10? I don't know. Have no idea. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Just make sure you're up to date. I suppose you have all the latest drivers. Like if you're using like an NVIDIA card or whatever, just make sure you're up to date. Don't know. I don't usually do too much like OS configuration. Usually just let Windows handle that. Instead, I leave all my configuration files in my home directory. Which I realize is not actually that popular. It still boggles my mind though sometimes. Oh, yeah. Look at that. All right, actually, this needs to be changed as well, but we'll get around to that. Okay. There's the logger. So what was I doing again? Rendering. I mean this is the settings menu, which doesn't really matter. So there's your settings. There's the filter, which doesn't work yet because it's not implemented. Okay. Get rid of that. Runner 3D, that's fine. Runner data, this is just a data type or data class, if you will. Date time. What was I using date time for? Oh, it's for the resources. Yeah, it's coming back to me. I don't know. Let's do this really quickly as well then. Because having to constantly go back and forth between working on this stuff or closing Godot, working on some C++, compiling, and then reopening Godot is kind of annoying. So I think I can do this instead. Well, no, because I don't want to do that because then I don't get the built-in documentation stuff. All right, let's not do that. The only configuration stuff I touch is hiding the dock and dynamic backgrounds. I don't know. I don't know. I don't usually hide the dock, and I guess I also don't have dynamic backgrounds, so maybe that's I just use the defaults, or one of the defaults. It looks like a tent. Well, let me think. I think I can do. No, I can't. Maybe I can. Hold on. I need to check the source real quick. So I think I have the var arg stuff down. Or at least I don't need to touch it anymore until it breaks, and then we'll need to start messing with it again. What was I thinking? Modules, GD extension. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Maybe it's not here anymore. Maybe it's under core. Extension, yeah. GD extension. Okay. So there were a few things I need. Register extension class. No. Open library. What's closed library? Closed dynamic library. Okay. So here's something that could be kind of cool. It's just a really quick plugin. So plug in VRM stuff not enabled. But let me see. GD extension. I guess loader. GD extension loader. GD scripters plugin.gd. Don't activate it immediately. All right. And then this should be fairly simple. Or actually, I should be doing this in a different thing altogether. Hold on. All right. So I'm going to have to yeet this. Run this again, and then I can just copy the DLL over. That's fine. But it is very annoying that I need to open and close the entire thing every single time I want to make a change to the C++ stuff. GD extension loader, and then I guess it's implied that it's also an unloader. GD extension loader, because if it can load things, then it can also unload things. Probably. Maybe. Don't know. So grab all of this stuff. vpuppr. Add-ons. Just grab that. That's mine now. GD extension. GD. Sorry. Add-ons. There we go. So now we have this GD extension loader, add to favorites, plug in, and then give me. It's one of these things. Is it this? No, it's this. The more I program, the more I'm like, man, I do like the visual indicators. When I was a lot earlier in my career, I guess I was using more IDEs. So the IDEs kind of like handle the grouping for you, but when you're, doing stuff like this, gotta take matters into your own hands. We'll have a dictionary, GD extensions, which is a dictionary of path to actual GD extension thingamajig. So this is library path to GD extension. I think that's what I want, right? What is GD extension manager? Okay. Oh. Oh, look at that. Oh. Look at that. Maybe this is an entire waste of time then. Maybe they already have something for me. Alright. Kill this. Alright. Look at that. Should have checked the docs. Admittedly. That's fine. Now we're here. So what does the manager do? Or what does the implementation do? Okay, so this is unimplemented. Or it's not implemented. Unload extension. Heh. What? Okay, I mean, this is essentially what I have. Okay, sure. Yeah, okay. That makes it really simple then. That makes it extremely simple. So this is the GD extension manager. Look at that. All right, well, it is abstract. That's good to know. Why is this abstract then? Why is this here? Who implements this? Yeah. Or is it no, the interface is something completely separate, but this is an abstract class. Where does it say it's abstract? Or is this like very, very recent? No, this has not been touched. It has not been touched for a long, long time. Okay. All right, well, this is a string to GD extension map. Okay, that makes sense to me. What do you mean it can't be constructed though? Where does it say that it's abstract? Manager, bind methods. Static singleton. Am I not allowed to use this? What do you mean? Native class GD extension manager cannot be constructed as it is abstract. That's not true. That might be true actually. Hold on. How do you know if it's abstract or not? That looks fine. Okay, hold on. I know that canvas items are also abstract, so I'm gonna look at whatever the heck that is. I can always just re-implement it myself. That's fine. So scene 2D canvas item. Where are you at? Canvas. It? Where? It? Canvas item. No. Well, I guess these all inherit from canvas item. So maybe let's look at how sprite works. So this should be, no, it's a node 2D. Okay, so node 2D, where are you at? Node 2D, canvas item, scene main canvas item. It's under main. Okay, that makes sense. All right. Then canvas item. Does this say it's abstract or is it just a thing? All right. That's good to know. Very interesting. So we can do something like this then, right? Class manager extends GD extension manager. GD extension Okay. That is really weird though. GD extension manager does not give autocomplete. What do you mean? Cannot be constructed as it is based on abstract native class. GD extension manager? Wait. Because these are... Wait, no. Eh? But these are not static. These aren't static though? What? These aren't static, so I shouldn't be able to okay. So you can't just call it class. Okay, so class DB get single. Okay, how do I get the singletons? Is it engine singleton GD extension manager? And then it's gonna that shouldn't be valid. That should not be valid at all. They give me an object. Okay, so get singleton returns a global singleton with a given name, often used for plugins. I don't know. GD extension manager. Maybe you're not supposed to do this, but I'm gonna do it. Exit tree. Manager is null, so we'll release our reference to that. So give me just a random runner just to see if it'll work. So this will be, I don't know, demo. Give that a save. And then I guess you can just have a plugin like this. You can just load it in, that's fine. Our plugin is equal to preload this thing new, and then that's pretty much it, right? So then in ready, I guess we can just try printing plugin manager, see what it gives me. All right, it explodes. Cannot be constructed. What do you mean? Okay, well, you're forcing my hand, so that's fine. We'll just do it like that. Print manager. All right, it explodes. Internal script error, opcode 21, please report. That's a good one. GD3 implicit new. NC, what does that mean? NC. All right, well, give me 1 second. Maybe it's happening too quickly, so we can do this in ready. So we let the engine have some time to start up, like this. Opcode 21, please report. It's a good one. I've never seen it before. So under modules, GD script VM, GD script VM 1238, about here. 1238. What is NC? Native class. Opcode assigned type to native. Cast to gskip native class type is operator. Then if it's not able to do that, I wonder if GD extension manager is just not a thing. You know what? That makes sense. Maybe it's not even registered. It just kind of exists, but does not actually do anything. You know? That makes sense. And it's also very disappointing. That's fine. I can make my own manager. That's fine. I'll make my own manager with blackjack and hookers. Extension. No, wait, hold on. GD extension loader. It'll just have to be a ref counted, that's fine. Actually, no, this would have to be an object. Or you would want this to be an object because you can't just drop it, because it will never drop itself, right? Because you'll always have a reference to the loaded binary maybe? No, we'll make it ref canon for now. Something about that doesn't feel right, but I don't know what. All right. The alert command needs to be re-implemented. But the bot is undergoing a rewrite as of the rewrite is undergoing another rewrite. It's because it's being refactored yet again, because it was initially very, very, I guess just messy, very slapdash. I think I have a good thing going with it now. But it also means that I'm no longer using some of the more fancy bits, which is to say like the procedural macros to do I don't know, procedural macros to do commands. Now I'm just using a CLI library instead, which is actually kind of nice because it allows me to share the logic a lot more easily across bots. Right here, I think this is just going to be like extension name to extension, or maybe like extension path. So extension path to GD extension. Like that. Init, we won't do anything. And that's really it, right? So we'll have like func add extension. So we're looking for probably just path, right? So path to a GD extension. Return a boolean. That's for now just a return. Well, it's not a boolean. Return an integer, which is an error code. Return OK. And so once we verify that it exists and that we are able to load it in properly. See, I don't understand why this is here if it's not actually like registered. And it does not appear to have anyone like actually working on it either, which is very annoying. GD extension. I don't know. Just give me the online docs, please. I'll keep it here. GD extension. Like so. GD extension. It is very weird though how the manager isn't like, it's there in the code, but it doesn't do anything. Like, why would you do this? Like, who does this? Why? All right, entry symbol and, well, okay. How did they do it? So this is GD extension. GD extension manager. I could just yeah, you know what? That is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to look at their implementation because it's pretty close, I think. Probably, maybe. Get extension. Wait, how do you add an extension? Load extension. So it's a path, but then how do you know what the symbol is? Or are they just assuming the symbol? Right, because I know that for things like this, right? So cat vpuppr GD extension, I do have to define the entry symbol. Right, because the entry symbol is not the same for everything, unless you're doing something like GD native Rust, which does that for you. And I think it's the same thing every single time as well. It's just the path is a little different, but it uses the same symbol. Whereas it looks like for most of the GD extension stuff, or Rust was for GD native, but the idea is the same. But for all the GD extension examples I've seen, they all define their own symbol differently, which is a bit weird. But I mean, I'm also doing it, so I'm also a weirdo. GD extension get extensionless config file. Oh, okay. So they are doing it slightly differently. Or maybe GD extension just kind of exists, but you're not supposed to use it. But then why is it exposed to GD script then, if you're not supposed to use it? I don't know. I'm going to refill my drink and I'll be right back. I think I have a better solution. Is that we do it via a plugin, and then we can just unload and we can load and unload, which is the biggest problem that most people have with GD extensions right now, is that it's really hard to load and unload it. Although I'm not sure if anyone's tried to do this yet. But for GD extensions, it makes more sense. GD native made less sense, I guess, because at least Godot unloaded your binary once you minimized Godot. Once you minimize Godot, Godot will release the library handle, which is nice. Anyways, I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. All right. So let me see. Ha ha ha. Oh, you know what? This is actually not what I need. This manager thing doesn't make any sense because this is, yeah, this is like internal only. I should not be using this. What I should be doing is this. So we need to check to see if it even exists or not. File access, file exists, path. If not, this exists, then return error does not exist. Come back. I'm currently working on the janky website by using media tags. Very nice. I'm not familiar with media tags, although I see them all the time. I know there's good ways to do it, and there might be like just a better library out there. Like once again, like the big thing about the website is I don't want to host that much content. Like if at all possible, I don't want to host the content because I'm cheap. So if I can avoid like pushing out like megabytes of stuff every time someone accesses the website, that would be beautiful, you know? So var GD extension is a GD. Please let me do this. Sometimes it doesn't work for whatever reason. So in the demo, we won't be using the manager, but we can do, we'll call it the loader. Loader is equal to preload. GD extension loader, new. Excuse me. All right, just to make sure, GD extension. So if you're not able to create these manually, then this plan has already failed. All right, you're able to create these manually. It is beautiful. use them on the first version, make it friendly to small vertical windows. Nice. Yeah, I mean, the thing about me, right, is that I do use vertical windows. I have a vertical screen on my right, and then this is also a 4K monitor, so it's already pretty big. So, I guess if you're on like a 1080, like just an HD monitor, it's not as visible. Yeah, but you know, if there, you don't have to roll your own implementation if there's already like another library out there, as long as it's downloadable from a CDN, you know, then that's fine with me. Yeah, I'm about to have to shell out a decent chunk of money for the domain as well, because there's actually a few valid domain names for it, surprisingly enough. Or, I mean, it's not surprising to me. It might be surprising to you. Because I've only ever mentioned the one vpuppr, but there's also, let me see, where is it? Pointer. Yeah, so virtualpuppetproject.com is actually a valid site as well. So Virtual Puppet Project is fine. Let me see. I think, yeah, vpuppr.com. I also reserved that one, and it just redirects to vpup.pro. Because I did the same thing with my my personal website. Because I couldn't get timothyyun.com, so instead I got timothyyun.app, timothyyun.dev, timothyyun.info, and timothyyun.io. And so timothyyun.io is the main one, and then everything else just redirects. So am I squatting on the domains? Yes. Does that make me a scumbag? Also yes. Do I care? No, not really. There's another Timothy Yun who's I think he's a Texas A&M professor who is also doing computer science, or he is doing computer science. He's computer science psychology, which I don't really understand, whereas I do programming, not computer science. Yeah, I think it's, yeah, what is it? timothyyun.com. Yeah, it's this guy. This is not me, because my middle name does not start with a T. Yeah. Oh no, it's not Texas A&M. It's UT San Antonio. Yeah. Computer science and engineering education, multimedia-based cognitive tools. I have no idea what that means. Yeah. Oh, but he is a turbo nerd, PhD. I don't have a master's or a PhD. I only have a double degree. One of which is completely useless, but you know, good enough for me. All right, so initialize library, open library. Oh, you know what? Okay, I see the problem here. Wait, no. What? Wait, hold on. So I'm looking at this, which is why I'm a little frazzled. I shouldn't have closed these, is what I'm realizing. Hold on. So here's the extension manager. I don't care about the extension manager, but what the heck what's the difference between loading the library and initializing the library? This isn't even exposed to me, so I don't know why this is, well, I know why this is here. It's because it's needed. But initialize, okay. What does load library do? Or what does open library do? Turn error. Needs the entry symbol. Yeah, I generally use a landscape mode. Like what you see right now is landscape mode, by the way. Sorry, I read it and then went off on a rant and then forgot to respond. These are method binds. I don't care about method binds. GD extension, no, that's not what you want. Initialize GD extensions, that's not even exposed. What is, where's closed library? Or is closed library not even implemented? No, it's here, yeah. Okay. I think I get it, maybe. So you always need to open the library. You always need to open the library. So let's do that. So you need to have the path, and then you also need to have the, what is it called? it's the entry symbol, string. And then I'm not going to assume what the entry symbol is. Oh, you know what, let's assume what the entry, let's not assume what the entry symbol is. GD extension, open library, path, entry symbol. It's beautiful. And then if this is not, well, we can do it like this. So self GD extensions path is equal to this GD extension, and then we can just return this. So if it was able to open it properly, then we'll just get okay, I think, which is good. Open library, yeah, return okay, that's good. Initialization levels don't really matter to me. I think this makes sense. So once we verify that the file exists, etc., we create a new GD extension object, store it here, and then we return GD extension open library, and then open library does this stuff, checks to see if it even exists, get dynamic library symbol. Actually, is that something that's actually exposed to GD scripts? That would be cool if it was. You know what? Never mind. Yeah. I'm a fool. Why would this be exposed to GD script? Why would you think that? Did it 5 lines of code? Now when the window is portrait oriented, the slideshow is chucked below the main content instead of behind? Well, no, isn't that's not really what you would want though, right? Like what I guess what I kind of was envisioning is something that's more like this, right? Except minus this part below that. So not like that at all, really. But more like this. Like this is fairly common in a lot of websites. So what I would kind of be expecting, right, is that you kind of notice here how you can't scroll down because it's a single window. I don't want to be able to scroll because there's nothing to show, you know? So you would want the image to just take up this much space, but don't add any vertical scroll, yeah? Because it's very clean like that. You know, single page, don't need to scroll. There's nothing because there's nothing to show. If you actually want to, you know, scroll, then you need to go to another page. But yeah, it's streamlined. It's very streamlined. Yeah. So something like this, but no scrolling. Does that make sense? Like I'm sure there's a way to do it because I've seen a lot of websites do it. So stretching the image to fit the window on both width and height. Yeah, there is a way to do that. So like you don't need to stretch necessarily. You kind of see what this is doing is that, well, yeah, actually, yeah, stretch it, yeah, or shrink it. Stretch or shrink it depending on the size. Now that's where the logic gets kind of fuzzy. Because I remember I also did Google that. It's like, how do you like zoom in but potentially also stretch at the same time? You know? Because you don't necessarily always want to stretch it either, you know? But you know, something like this. So it maintains the same amount of space, but then potentially stretches or zooms in, zooms out, etc., based off of, you know, how much of it, how big the window is, like that. I guess the Godot one doesn't like carousel. It does not auto move on to the next image. Instead, it's just based off of refresh, I guess. You know? Yeah, I think there's a few frameworks. Like I know if you're using, what is it? It's not React. It's the other one. It's the Google one. Angular. Doesn't Angular have a few plugins that do that? But Angular is also like a really big library. I hate how Angular does stuff. But it does have a lot of built-ins. I'm sure React has the same thing. But I don't want to maintain my own website, which is why I wanted the templates. Because templates, you know, it works and it's really easy to add new stuff. Because everything is just based off a template. Remove extension. So removes extension. So it's based off of the path. We don't really need to have the entry symbol. But then we do if not GD extension self, GD extensions has path, return error does not exist. Otherwise, self GD extensions path close library, something like that. All right, well, there we go. Well, no, wait, hold on. What does initialize library do? And when would you ever want to do that immediately? Oh, I see. Initialize up to the current level, and then you need to initialize it. Can you uninitialize? Maybe this is a waste of time because it's not possible to uninitialize a library. Where is it? Can you uninitialize? There is deinitialize. I have a feeling this is not actually exposed. Yeah. Why isn't that exposed? That's very curious. Hold on. So this is kind of a waste of time then, I guess. Where is it? Where is it? I saw it. I was just looking at it. Is it here? Okay. Deinitialize library. So it's there. So it's only used in GD extension manager. Unload extension. It's kind of a pain. That's kind of a huge pain. It's not exposed, so you're not able to call it from GD script. I'm sure I don't know. I just said I was sure, but that's not actually how that works. Hold on, GD extension. Is it not here? Is it not one of the types I have access to here? GD extension. GD IJK EFG. Okay. GD extension. Okay, so here's the GD extension stuff. That's kind of cool. Oh, but then what's the point? If you don't have the ability to deinitialize, then there's no point. Right? Because I can close the library, but then it's already initialized. Where does initialization come from? Initialization is that looks like it's an internal thing, like this. So initialization is GD extension initialize. Okay, yeah, it's just a thing. So where does this from? It's from somewhere else. GD extension interface. If I had to guess, probably GD extension interface. So initialization. Oh, it's a struct. Beautiful. If core or servers, the extension needs editor or gamer start to take effect. What a waste of time. I could recompile, but then it doesn't make a huge difference anyways. Because then it's only usable by me, which is not the point. I guess maybe what you could do, well, no, because then you don't have it in the editor, which doesn't. All right, yeah, this is a huge waste of time. It's not possible because not enough stuff is exposed. All right, well, say goodbye. It's annoying. Like there's just enough there to give you hope, but then once you start digging into it, it's like, oh wait, it's not possible. All right, well. Like, I know why it's not exposed. I do remember reading a discussion as to why they didn't want to expose that is because, like, what would you expect to happen then, right? Because once it's initialized, then you know, then like the core engine is kind of modified. And then if you start using nodes and then you deinitialize it, what would you expect to happen then? Then you just kind of have like a bunch of garbage data that doesn't refer to anything. Which in my opinion is fine. That's fine. And then, you know, if it wants to throw an error, then throw an error. That's just the risk of, you know, hot reloading. Sometimes there's garbage in the way. That's okay though. Alright, so runner 3D. This does need to have, let's add a light. What kind of lights do we have? Spotlight, directional light. We can have a directional light. Do like a good directional light. Just give me something that's like the sun. Just put it way up here, I guess. That's fine. Load me in. All right, there's the duck. Oh, actually, the duck did not load in properly, huh? And I can't load in any VRM models because that's still glitched. So why is this kind of scuffed? So this should be loading in from the GLB. So the handler, blah, blah. So if it's a GLB, I'm using the GLTF document and the GLTF state directly. And we're generating the scene based off of that. Model import flags. Okay, I remember this somewhat. So GLTF model import flags are something. Append from file. I don't know. What is it supposed to be? I remember looking this up at one point, but now I've just completely forgotten. Why am I doing this? Let's do it like this. Oh, geez. All right, so GL. Wait, no, I do need to go to GitHub. Sorry, Godot, GitHub. Okay, modules, GLTF. Model import flags. Where did these flags come from? I don't remember. There's some defines in a header file, but I don't think that's relevant. Almost certainly it's in GLTF document header. Is this supposed to be constant? All right. I don't know. What are these flags supposed to be? There's nothing here. All right. Give me a 0, because that's the default. All right. So that was completely wrong then. I don't know. There's no How are you supposed to know which flags you're supposed to pass in if there's no enum and there's no documentation? So that was append from file. Append from, oh, sorry. Append from file. Sure. So here are the flags. So what are these used for? They must be defined somewhere, right? Right, because they're ending them against this. Oh, it's an editor thing, huh? Well, that's kind of tough. We'll just use 0 for now. Or by 0, I mean we'll just use the defaults. Whatever you feel like, really. All right, and then I'll need to... The duck is actually kind of hard because it has very specific UV mappings. I remember that. Or it's not very specific UV mappings, but it requires UV warping for the eyes to work, right? Because for these two, or I guess these 4 triangles, right? Because there's 2 triangles in every square, and so these are actually squares, which means they're triangles. These are actually, it's actually warping between like eyes open and other. So I believe it's warping between like region 0 and region 1, and then there are just other regions that it's able to warp to. But I don't remember if, oh, they are implemented. Look at that. Oh yeah, so it's region 1 and then region 4, or I guess region 0, region 3, like that. So I'm not actually blinking my eyes really quickly. That's just warping. So whenever I load in this duck here, I think it's just gonna break because there's no like configuration file that tells it how to actually render the eyes properly. And I guess there's also just additional configuration that needs to be there. So that's a long-standing, I guess, bug for low poly models. But for now, that's fine. For now, that's fine. I would need to expose additional options. And I don't really have a plan in mind for how to do that. Let me see. All right. So runner 3D, try set model. Runner handler. Did I ever set the handler? Runner. Runner set handler is self. So we'll try to set it. If it's not there, then it's whatever. It doesn't really matter. And then actually, this is not super duper relevant, except for, I suppose, these bits here. Yeah, so you can try to load a resource, and then there's a few resources. So there's the GUI path, the runner path, and then those are all stored in runner data. So there's the runner path, GUI path, model path, blah, blah. Last use, also very good. Okay. Let's do this. Folder. We'll just do it directly like this. So trackers. Suppose I'll need to have a sort of like interface type. And I think trackers is something that would be good to move into C++, since that's actually something that's very slow. But for now, we'll just do it like so. So open CPace. And I think it would be better if it was a node, because it does need to poll every now and then, right? So it's better if it's completely self-contained. And I think that's actually how vpuppr works as well. Hold on, I need to check. I don't remember. Resources. So we're no longer doing the resources thing anymore. I figured if I'm going to be the only... This tends to happen, actually. Oh, yeah. Maybe this is like a personal failing, but... Whenever I work on stuff, people always tell me, like, oh, yeah, like, we need you to do it a certain way, or it'd be nice if you could do it a certain way. I'm like, all right, we can do it this way if you know, this means that other people can help maintain it. And then once I'm done, they're like, oh, sorry. Turns out I don't want to help maintain it. It's like, okay, I shouldn't have listened then. Should have just done it my way. You know? Very sad story. So this is a node. Tracking, backend tree. Yeah, okay, it's a node. Because then you can just depend on the node always working. But actually, we'll call this abstract tracker for now. Class name, abstract tracker. It's not really abstract, but I mean, it, you know. All right, so signal, data received, and it'll have some sort of data in it. What kind of data? I'm not super sure. Once again. So inits, not too much that needs to be done there. Set offset, stop, receiver has data, doesn't matter. Apply, I don't think I want to do apply anymore. But that's how the previous implementation used to work over here. So it used to be there was a get name. I think get name is fine. We can still have that. So func get name. Oh, and this is not Rust, so you can't do it like that. But return abstract tracker. Yeah, that's fine. It gets the name, as you might expect. What's your problem? Oh, it's because this is a... It's fine. It's roughly the same thing. Oh, but you're not allowed to override that. Okay. Okay, so I guess we don't need get name. That's fine with me. I suppose we could do something like this. So name self name is equal to name, like so. That's fine. Solution not browser compatible. Well, I mean, if it doesn't work in Safari, who cares? So like Safari doesn't matter, and then Internet Explorer doesn't matter. So pretty much you're just supporting Chrome and Firefox, right? Because those are the only two major browser engines that still matter at this point. Firefox, that's rough. Yeah, Firefox is a little behind in terms of like compatibility, but Firefox also has some good stuff as well. Because isn't it like Firefox had like native buffer support before Chrome did or something like that? And then of course Apple is Apple. Apple just wants to do whatever. Edge, yeah, but like Internet Explorer is just still Internet Explorer. Or I don't know. What engine did Internet Explorer use? Edge is not Internet Explorer. Start receiver, stop receiver. Func, start receiver. Returns an int. Return error unconfigured. Something like that. Stop receiver. Return error unconfigured. It's beautiful. Look at that. And then var logger is some sort of logger, and that's from the GD extension. And then logger is equal to logger and place like that. Okay, look at that. Yeah, it's kind of annoying that even with like the GD extension stuff, you cannot pass like .new arguments. So instead, I kind of have to use this weird static method workaround, which does work. It's just a bit strange. So logger not configured or not yet implemented. Logger error not yet implemented. My favorite error code. All right, so there's your abstract tracker, and then here scripts abstract tracker. What the heck? No, yeah, these are the same. Open C face. Class name, open C face. Suppose I should have actually, you know what, all right. We're still early, we can do this. Open C face, like so. This needs to take a name. Super, like that. Very Python-esque. Big fan, big fan. Start tracker. Stop tracker, and then I might have to stop my tracker now, or once I finish this, but that's fine. I just need to have the initial implementation done, at least for basic 3D models. And then after that, I can start worrying about the rest. And actually, I was holding off. I think I went too far in the other direction. I used to be like, now I'm free from the Java mines. Now I can just do mega files. But yeah, let's do it like this instead. It does help to organize things just a little bit. So open C face, and then there's like open C face data. So open Z face data, which is going to be a ref counted. It's not really a resource, which is why I'm not making it a resource. I mean, it is literally a resource, but that's not what most people are referring to when they say resource. All right, I'm gonna put this up here so I can look at it. GLTF document, get out of here. You failed me for the last time. All right. So we're just gonna start typing. Number of points. 68. OpenCFace is the easiest one for me to implement for whatever reason. Okay. Number of tracking of facial points recognized by the tracker, something like that. ID of the tracked face. Camera resolution. I feel like I don't really need camera resolution, but it's here for some reason. There you go. The camera resolution. What a great comment. But I'm doing this because it does look nice when you look at the documentation in the editor. OpenCFace data. Right, I open. So these are all default values. Left eye open. This is quaternion identity. I think these calculations I actually still need help with, but it's good enough. I've got it mapped somewhat. Got 3D points. Points. False fit 3D error. Rotation is a vector 3 0. Translation vector 3 0. Raw quaternion is quaternion identity. Raw Euler is vector 3 0. Confidence. It's a pool. No, packed. Packed float 32 array, probably. I don't know. Probably. Points is a packed vector 2 array. And points 3D is a packed vector 3 array. It's beautiful. And then the features, which doesn't actually need to be in its own class, but that's actually how the reference implementation in Unity does it, which I don't need. So I left. Sorry. Var I right. Oh, this is so much typing. Luckily, I can touch type okay. I'm not the best at touch typing. Mostly because I don't type correctly. And I refuse to learn the correct way. Because I don't know. I feel like typing the correct way doesn't really fit. But I guess, I don't know. With programming, I guess. Mostly because when I'm programming, I need to move my right hand all over the keyboard to hit all kinds of punctuation or whatnot. Eyebrow steepness, right? Row up, down, left, float. Eyebrow quirk left. Something I have no idea what that means. Still don't know what it means, but you know, I can figure it out. Mouth, corner, up, down, left. Please. Mouth, corner, in, out, left, float. Please. The autocomplete in Godot 4 is garbage, by the way. I don't know why it's so bad. Because it always gives me it gives me a suggestion after I'm done typing. I just want to press enter to go to the next line. I don't need a suggestion. I only need suggestions when like I'm using like a dot operator, which I guess, yeah. If I stopped at like 0 dots, then I want you to give me a suggestion. But once I press it, once I'm past the dots, I don't want a suggestion anymore. I'm done. If I want a suggestion, I'll stay at the dots, you know? But maybe it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, shut up. If you really cared, you would submit a PR. And it's like, yeah, you know what? That's valid. I suppose I don't actually care all that much. I can live with it. It is annoying, but whatever. Like that. Mouth. Open, float. Mouth, wide. Alright. I think that's actually configurable. Okay, wait. So something I don't understand is, for some reason with this project, it always pops my settings window up at the very top, which I don't understand. Isn't there there's a way to there's a way to configure the main window, isn't there? Text editor, behavior. Scroll past N, that's good. Tabs, that's good. Auto indent, auto save, completion. Add type hints, yes please. Code complete delay. Give me a half. Sometimes I like to think. Sometimes I'm a thinker. I'm a thinker. Window. Initial. Primary screen center. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. This is my primary screen. Unless it's saying that my top screen is my primary screen, which is not true. But that might be what it's seeing. Alright. Alright, so do need to have a thing called read from packets, because we do read packets. So read packet. Plunk. Read packets. So we'll take we have some sort of buffer, which is a packed byte array. I don't remember what the ins is for. SPB, which is a stream pure buffer. SPB data array is equal to buffer. You know what? Reset me. It's just not. It's not fast enough. It's close, but not close enough. All right. SPB. I guess I don't really need to seek. I can just get like yeah, get double please. So the time is equal to SPP get double. And then I don't remember, did these automatically seek or no? Stream peer buffer. Stream peer, so if I do like a get double, does that gets a double precision float from the stream, but does that move me along the stream as well? I have no idea. It could be doing anything. Godot, GitHub. Hold on. Stream peer buffer. Where is it? Stream peer. Hold on. Go to file. Stream peer. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Stream peer. What do you got? What do you got? So I get double. Does it seek for me? Decode double. All right, what do you think? All right, very good. Where do these come from? Where does this inherit from then? Or is it from marshals? It could be from marshals, I suppose. Oh, let me see, H. If it's from marshals, then what a pain. It is from marshals. All right, what a pain. Core IO marshals. Core IO marshals. Marshals. Decode double. Okay, sure. So what is decode double? What does it do? Decode double. Decode double. What does it do? Where does this come from? Decode variance, which is not what you want. Decode marshals. Decode double. Double, 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 double. Where does this come from? Where is this defined, dude? This is useless. Alright. Where else could it be? Ref counted, print string, marshal. Is it in marshals dot just marshals H, the header file? I hate it. It's in the header file. Okay. Decode double. Marshal double decode from an array returns the marshal double. Sure. Sure. So yeah, okay. So it's just from here. So this get double. I guess I do need to move it. Wait, no. What does get data do? Does get data move me along? Where is it? Get data, get data, get data, get data. Stream peer extension? Eh? Oh, it's... Wait, no. Eh? Get data? So these are all using stream peer extension? I guess they're friend classes. No, this is stream peer extension. Eh? Or stream peer buffer, there we go. So you have the buffer, a pointer to a buffer. But then does it move you along or no? I would think that it moves you along, but I'm not sure. Get partial data. So it copies it into the buffer. Has the pointer increments. This is a very concerning fix me here. Return what? Okay or error? Return okay for now so we don't maybe return garbage. Eh? I don't really know. Let's just see if it works, I guess. And then we'll, if it works, if it's good enough, then it's good enough, right? It should be pretty easy to determine if it doesn't work, I guess. So ID is SPB, get 32. I suppose it's probably a U32, right? What is this? Oh, there is no ID. Did I miss ID when I was typing this out? I did miss ID when I was typing this out. You genius. All right, there we go. It's a 32-bit integer. That's fine. God, this stuff sucks. I hate doing this, but it's fine. Like, this is the kind of stuff I like to be paid for because it requires no brain power. Alright, so read float. Stream peer buffer. And then it doesn't need anything really. So this is return b get float. Wait, no, I don't need this then. Right, read float is just read float. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Da, da, da. So then it's just for like reading a vector. So read vector 2. Peer buffer gives you a vector 2. So how did I do this? Return vector 2. So buffer get float. B get float. So it should be in left to right order, although I don't remember if that's actually how it worked. It's probably fine. It's probably fine. Confidence interval, not very high, but you know. Stream peer buffer. Get floats, B get floats, B get float. Should be fine. Read quaternion. Return quaternion. And then it's just a bunch of floats again. Alright, it's beautiful. I guess, isn't a quaternion in this context is basically a vector 4? Like I said, vector 4, I guess, quaternions have additional methods on them, so I suppose they might add additional bloat that you may or may not need. Something like that. Camera resolution is equal to read vector 2. Right eye open. SPB read SPB get float. Left eye open. All right, we're getting there. We're getting there. So got 3D. So it's like literally just read 1 byte. Okay, so SPB get byte yet get 8. Yeah. Right, so var. Wait. Was it got 3D points is equal to true if this is not 0, else false. It's beautiful. He's done it. Fit 3D error is equal to SPB get float. I'm assuming that these all move the stream peer buffer's pointer. I'm not sure if it does though. I might have to manually seek it myself, but you know, that's something that we'll come to once we get to testing. We'll fix it once we get around to testing it, I should say. Walk quaternion is read quaternion SPB raw Euler is equal to read vector 3 SPB. So rotation is equal to the raw Euler rotation x is equal to rotation x if rotation x is greater than 0, 0, else rotation x plus 360. I remember this is one of the things that took me forever to figure out. Because it's one of those things that's not immediately obvious, right? Because the Godot likes to wrap rotation, so you only go from -180 to 180. But that's a little problematic because the data that OpenC Face sends is from 0 to 360. I think it's something like that. I don't know. Or maybe no, maybe OpenC Face sends me -180 to 180, but Godot expects 0 to 360. It's one of those things. I don't have the notes anymore. It's so long ago. That's why I need to fix the rotation here while parsing. Translation is equal to a factor 3. SPB get float. Or I suppose since I'm just negating all of these, we can just do it like that. This is another thing I don't remember why I did it. Maybe I can get rid of it. I mean, there's a lot of things, right? Lots of weird calculations. Oh, you know what? Okay. That's why I did it like this. So this is SPB get float var y. And then these actually need to be reordered for some reason. I think they're using unity coordinates. And unity coordinates z is up, I think. But in Godot coordinates, y is up. Which makes sense, to be honest, because right, your screen is your screen has y is up, right? So if you're viewing things through a 2D lens, then y must be up. Now, if you're viewing things in 3D, then z is up, but it's a bit different, right? So I think it's like if you're using CAD software, then z is up, but if you're doing like game development or like multimedia, you would generally use y is up. Or I guess interactive media, I should say. But I think a big thing of that is just like convention, right? And convention kind of implies tradition at some point. For a point, index in number of points, confidence, set points index, like that. Number of points, set points IDX, SP, well, read vector 2 SPB for points index in number of points plus 2 points points 3D set points index read vector 3. There we go. And then I even have in my old notes, it's like, to you, I'm pretty sure this is kind of wrong. You know? It's very true. I still think it's kind of wrong. Name a more iconic duo, me and 3D mathematics. Transform 3D. Tell me, good sir, what art thou troubles? You know, quaternions, the usual. Everyone struggles with quaternions, right? Your normal person, you know, the foremost thing on their mind. How do I translate a quaternion? But tell me, son, what are thou troubles? I will listen, but more likely than not have any input. It's something I'm actually like somewhat used to for some reason. At least when I was still in school. And maybe it's because I always like left the bar early, so I would always just kind of like hang out. Because I'm like, man, I don't really like going out to bars or clubbing or whatever. So I'd be like, all right, well, let's, you know, who wants to go? Like, I guess post game, I guess. I was, all right, we'll pay for the Uber. Actually, at the time, Uber wasn't really that popular, but you know what I'm talking about. We'll pay for a taxi or whatever. And then usually, then after that, it was just like listening to dudes whinge about, like, oh no, I tried to talk to so and so, but like blah blah. It's like, yeah, I know, I get it. You're drunk. So am I. But it looks like I'm listening, but in reality, I just, as the kids say, I'm just vibing. A Python programmer that doesn't understand this language, that is my troubles. Well, I mean, I guess what's the thing you don't understand? Like it, in Python, when you want to define a variable, you don't usually need to have var, which I actually really dislike. Right, because that means that you can potentially accidentally shadow a variable without even realizing it. Or you define a new variable, or you either define a new variable without realizing it, which is the worst part, because then you're like, oh, okay, like I'm accessing a class member or something that's I defined earlier in my function, but in reality, nope, that's a new variable. Whereas this syntax, right? So you have like var x, you know for sure it's a new variable, 100%. Even if you are shadowing, it's fine, right? Got a little bit of lag there. All right, but let's add the to-do back. So I did write this, by the way. This is Virtual Puppet Project vpuppr. See, what are you working on at the moment? Glad you asked. I'm working on this Virtual Puppet project. This is written in Godot 3. Free and open source on GitHub, etc., etc. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I'll drop a link in chat. I would use my bot. The bot is not written in Python or GD scripts and or Godot. Bot's written in Rust. And I believe it actually works. Doesn't it work? Yeah. There we go. Not everything is implemented at the current point in time, though. Oh, we're getting there. There's still a few bugs in the bot's implementation that need to be resolved. Mostly because it's using two separate parsers, which is, I suppose, makes sense because it's a combination bot, which for whatever reason lots of people don't tend to do. Well, I know why they don't tend to do it. It's because it's easier just to have the bots talk to each other independently rather than having like inter-application communication across threads, which is a bit harder. Still need the lurk. Well, I only have so much time. There's a ton of things that need to be done. I need to work on the package manager plugin for Godot, but oh, did I not you know what? I did not update it. All this stuff is still local. Hold on, I can push this. GD extension, let's keep this. This is Godot 4. I think I do need to rebuild because there have been new commits. Yeah, just a few new commits, but I don't use too many of these except for window and input. That's fine. Hold on. Sometimes you win, but this is Rust. It's beautiful. There's a ton of new stuff. Big refactor. Git add all commit split app into crates. Use clap for command parsing instead of Serenity built-ins. slash custom. Hit that with a push. Yeah, so all the commands are just here, right? So CLI, I think it's fairly easy to understand, in my opinion, right? Because then commands are all in commands. You go into source, librs is just basically like an init.py. Python intellect. Well, I mean, the big bugs are just like threading, which might be not super relevant for Python since Python has a global interpreter lock. So you can multi-thread, I think, in Python, but it's not quite the same as like a lower level language like Rust. But anyways, I mean, this is where all the missing commands are, or this is where all the commands are located, right? So blah, blah, CLI, and then the CLI needs to map to actual command implementations like this. So most of them are pretty easy to do, I think, maybe. So like clap is like argparse in Python. Yeah, I write a decent amount of Python at work. I hate writing Python though, because Python is so, I guess, floaty, right? Like very, very weakly typed. Like I believe in Python, like the type hints don't actually matter, right? As long as you're passing in something that, like, if you're passing in a class, you can actually also just pass in a dictionary as well, which is freaks me out. Whereas in a more strongly typed language like Rust or even just like Java, you know, you'll throw an error and say, oh, okay, that's what my error is. It's beautiful, you know? Isn't that bad? Yeah, I mean, I did work pretty hard on refactoring, right? It used to be a lot worse, right? So like commands, and then you just have a standalone parse public. So unlike Python, I guess Rust is closer to like a Java, if you know any Java, or it's closer to like a C# if you know any C#, or it's closer to pretty much anything that is interpreted. Yeah, so you parse and then you just match against the command, which is pretty close to how argparse works. Yeah, I like argparse. Argparse is probably the best CLI tool, in my opinion. A bit too many features. I don't use too many of like the store functions. You know what I'm talking about? So like store true. I think I use store true, but like append, I don't use that. So, no. If I need that, I'll just roll it myself. We don't need to be ultra complicated. You know what I'm talking about? Nice. I suppose I also shouldn't say that since a lot of my job actually depends on using argparse derived stuff, aka Ansible. Really not a huge fan of Ansible though. But that's where the money is, so you know. Slave to work, but also in this economy, I do have bills to pay. Is args? No, args. Like, are you familiar with argparse in Python? So Python argparse, pretty popular. I believe the build command for vpuppr also uses argparse, I think, or it's one of the things. Hold on. I did write an argparse thing as well. So like for the CI builds, it does use argparse, I think. Or no, it's not for CI builds, but well, maybe for CI builds, I don't remember. Yeah, setup.py, and then this uses argparse right here from argparse blah blah. Yeah, tkinter is a GUI library, which isn't really the same thing. No, Godot is, I guess, closer to tkinter. I'm not a huge fan of tkinter, but I'm not a fan of doing UIs in code in general. Which is why I like Godot, right? Because if you have a UI, you can just kind of Like UIs are inherently visual. You know what I'm talking about? I'm not a huge fan of having to plan out, you know, draw it on paper. Like, you know, here's the extents that we want, and I'll have to translate the code. You know, this you get more immediate feedback, and then if you need to have any additional code to tweak things, right? So this is what this actually looks like. It's like, oh, look at that. We tween it up, and then you fade in, etc. You get additional windows. The settings still need to be implemented, but you know, we're working on it. You can load in a model like that. So I am rewriting everything to work into Godot 4, and also to be more, I guess, cohesive. So it's going to be a little harder to contribute to, but no one contributes anyways, so who cares? So we'll just do things my way, you know? But yeah, this is kind of what I'm talking about with argparse. Yeah. And then this is an example of using argparse like that. So you set up parsers, you can add arguments with choices, etc., etc. You can see here that I'm using action store true. My favorites. Where store true is basically just, you know, a flag, right? So in terms of like Unix commands, it would be, I don't know, like git, if you hit it with like a git help is a flag, so you don't actually pass any, excuse me. You know, nearly 30 years living on this earth, and I still don't know how to breathe and swallow spit correctly. But yeah, that's basically that. I don't know. Ah, jeez. Yeah, so I'm just porting all this stuff. We can make it, we can rebuild it better, faster, stronger. How does that Daft Punk song go again? I know what it sounds like. I don't know how it goes, I just know what it sounds like when it takes a man's life, etc., etc. Mouth corner. Is it up, down, left? So these are important because these packets are all done in a very specific way. Corner, in, out, left, mouth, corner, up, down, right. Yeah, so I'm not writing the face tracking, like machine learning algorithm thing, by the way. I'm just writing the mapping between the machine learning stuff and the model rendering stuff. So it's a lot less impressive, but you know, it is work that no one wants to do, which is what I'm really good at, right? You know, if you want to pay me to watch paint dry, I'll do it gladly, etc., etc. Trying to make a blackjack game using tkinter and Python. It's pain because I don't have to have up to 5 real people. Don't know parsers. Do my research. Well, it's pretty easy, right? So Python argparse is, like, in my opinion, the easiest one to use, right? Especially since a lot of the documentation for the Python standard library is also pretty good. Pretty good. And also because it's Python, so even if you mess up, it's pretty quick to try again, you know. All right, so packet frame. Okay, so this is good, I think. So read packets, some helper functions. We don't need a init. Although actually, it probably should put it in a init. So buffer, byte array. Actually, you know what? This is so much easier. Just put this all into here. So init, like it's very similar to how Python works, right? So instead of, I guess, having like func init, you just have underscore init. Something like that. Yeah. I think once you get, like, I suppose, like maybe an intermediate level of Python mastery, you know, you can kind of jump between all kinds of interpreted languages pretty easily. Because they all kind of work the same way. You know, Python to Lua, the only thing that you need to know is that, well, you need to keep in mind is that Lua starts indexing at 1 instead of 0, which messes me up a lot, which is why I don't like using Lua. But Lua is very, very fast. You know, Ruby is pretty much just Python, but I guess nicer to use once you learn how to use it. You know, I guess Ruby is more on like the, you know, however you want to program, Ruby's okay with it, whereas Python tends to operate off the idea that, you know, there's only one correct way to do a thing, unless we're talking about strings, in which case Python provides 4 different ways of handling strings. But I think every language kind of struggles with handling strings. Yeah, but that's why I prefer Python over Ruby. It's like Ruby, it's like, I don't know, like how do you want to print stuff? Do you want to just puts? You know, like kind of how Python 2 used to work. I remember Python 2, if you wanted to print stuff, you could just do print, you know, whatever. Whereas in Python 3, print is actually a proper function, you know? Var server poll interval. Oh, wait, hold on. You don't want to just poll once a second. That's actually very, very slow. And we can take these things. There we go. Max tracker FPS 144. But actually, I feel like the max tracker FPS should be probably 60 frames per second. Right, because tracking faster than that is also like really bad for your computer, because OpenC Face is CPU bound. At least I think it is. Let me check real quick. Sometimes I forget. Hold on. There's OBS currently killing my computer. Yeah, well, yeah, face tracker, yeah. OpenC Face is CPU bound, yeah. I never remember. It's Godot that's eating GPU. It's not OpenC Face. Const max fit 3D error. It's a float. So I don't know. I feel like max fit 3D error. if that doesn't make a lot of sense, right? Because if you have an error higher than like 90, you would also want to kill it, right? But there's a reason why I made that configurable in the original application. I don't remember though. Server, some sort of UDP server, equal to null. As always, it's better to be explicit rather than implicit. If only for, you know, me in the future when I come back to it, you know? So receive thread, some sort of thread, explicitly make it null. All right, reception counter. What is the reception counter for? Not used at all? All right. Very good. Stop. Reception is false. So something I also like about GDScript, like I think GDScript is a pretty good language. It's like what I would want Python to be. Like Python, very easy to write, but also very easy to write bad code. Tracker PID. Some sort of integer -1. I wonder if vpuppr will get any traction in the future. Yeah, it might. It might. I think the problem with vpuppr is, like, one, I don't really care about marketing. And two, I don't know, I just, it's more just like a hobby project for me, right? Updated time. What is updated time used for? Oh, I don't even use updated time. Okay, cool. Yeah, I feel like vpuppr's only claim to fame is the fact that it's open source. It's open source and made in an engine that is easy to work with, right? Because like vcface, which is I guess the original, is closed source, and that was the entire reason why I was like, you know what if I just make something like vcface but make it open source instead. That's kind of just my thinking on it. It's like, who cares? Okay, so start tracker. I think I'm going to have to assume a few values. So let's do pull values from config instead. But yeah, I mean, the reason why I don't really want to like market it too much is because like, I don't know, like a lot of projects, if I just want to step away from it, then that's fine. Which is why I don't take money for it either. You know, I guess like, if you want to donate to like me in general, like I always try to work on stuff, but I don't want to be tied down to just working on one thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, it would be cool to be like the Anoch 2D person, what's their name? Luna. Like, they get paid, or they take direct donations to work on it. But it's also like, I don't know, like I've never been on unemployment. Like fairly successful. I like my career. If only because it pays me good money. So like, why would I want to give that up and instead be dependent on the whims of the internet, right? It's very scary. Instead, I can just do this in my downtime, right? If I wanted to be like work hard and basically just get crapped on by randoms, I would become a game developer professionally, but I don't. Starting OpenCFace tracker. I mention to people every once in a while. Yeah, I feel like it's listed on a few lists, so I do keep tabs on the, I guess, the GitHub stars. Oh geez, I have a ton of things open. Get rid of this. Yeah, so sometimes I'll just switch to this view. Oh wait, not this view. One of these views. There's a view that lets me see, but I keep track of the stars. And, yes, the stars. Yes, feed me more stars. That's pretty much it, though. Right, because the stars help me professionally flex on other people who don't have as many stars. All right, so var PID is equal to OS execute do OpenCFace face tracker do. All right, well, context path. I think I'll still do. I'm thinking. We'll put it here for now. So res resources. All right. Well, turns out I'm a liar. We're still doing things the same way. And then .exe if os get name to lower is Windows, else just nothing. Pretty good. and then arguments. All right. So there's actually a lot of arguments I need to include here. Yeah, game dev pays like no money, and people just hate you for it anyways. So it's like, like when I was a lot younger, I was like, man, it'd be really cool to like become a professional game dev. But you know, I've worked on a few games. And then whenever people give me feedback, they're like, oh, but like, what if you added multiplayer? I'm like, what? Like, why can't you just enjoy the game? And it's like, yeah, but it'd be better if there was multiplayer. Huh? Ingrates. Nothing's good enough, huh? So instead, you know, I went into consulting, software consulting, where I still get pretty much the same comments, but at least people like pay me well. So I'll take it. You know, like if you want to talk down to me, you know, be extremely toxic, that's fine. You just gotta pay me the appropriate rate. Otherwise, no, you don't get to do that. Excuse me. All right. Geez, I remember this. So I actually wrote this. This is like a standalone runner for OpenCFace. Basically just a GUI. But man, there's a ton of options that you could potentially have, and it's painful. I wrote this when I was recovering from COVID. Still couldn't talk. Could barely understand my own thoughts. I was like, you know, this is easy. Easy enough, at least. All right. But also not super helpful. Some of these I need, some of these I don't need. So I IP need that, I think. So IP, for now we'll just hard code it to 127. Oh no, I'm typing my public IP. Wait, it's 127 dot. No, that's localhost. Port. What is the default port? Default port for OpenCFace is, hold on, I'm pulling it up on my other monitor. This is the default port. 111.57.3. I suppose, no, I don't want to do this, but I'm going to do it. No, you know what? I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to push this. Just push whatever I have right now. Because I am overtime. So get status. RM. Wait, actually. Yeah, that's fine. RM. GD extension logger. Get rid of that. Wait, hold on. Git restore staged assets 3D models. I don't want to include Alicia because I don't think I have the appropriate license in the repo just yet. The duck is mine, so that's fine for me to include with no license. Update GD extension. Start implementing OpenCFace tracking. Yeah, and then everything else should be pretty easy because then I can just kind of rip out the UI from here. I do think that this UI is a good idea. I just need to figure out a better way of doing it. There we go, there it is. Git push. Yeah, there we go, it's beautiful. So everything is on GitHub as usual. Yeah, so I guess if you're interested in looking at it, there it is. So eventually I'm going to move the trackers over to C++, or if the Rust implementation of GD extension gets into a working state so I can also use that. I think that would be nice. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. I'll be live Sunday, right? Today is Thursday. Yeah, we'll be live Sunday for 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern time. Probably working on this again. I don't know. There's a Discord in my profile. The GitHub is in my profile, etc., etc. Yeah, Jane. Mata ne. Anyways, I'm not Japanese. I should be saying like 再见, but whatever. Goodbye. Where am I? There we go. Goodbye.